welcome once again. Promotion candidates, you are most welcome to another wonderful tutorials that we need to share something this evening. It's a pleasure of coming with you with another important bit of information about our promotion aptitude test. And kudos to those who are always following us, sharing with us their concerns, thoughts, ideas, opinions on this platform. You're most welcome once again. As today, we'd like to share with you some bit of questions that you need to pay attention to them before you go and write your promotion exams. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And your support is also very important. You need to support these tutorials with a Momo line just on the screen. You can share your support to us. And today we'd like to look at another key important questions that will refresh our mind or will keep us in the best position of passing our promotion aptitude tests. That is why it is another great time to share with you. Forget not to subscribe and like this video. Let's dive into these questions. We see them very simple, but anytime we are under pressure in the exams room, we try to fumble and we do not pass from these simple questions. That is what we're going to look at this evening. You're most welcome. Let's set the ball rolling. The first question: the Ghana Teaching Service was established in which year? Ghana Teaching Service. And what is another name for Ghana Teaching Service? So Ghana Teaching Service was established in 1974 and is now called the Ghana Education Service. It was established in 1974. So the question can be twisted in so many ways, and if you are not careful, you'll struggle with it. So if the questions come, Ghana Teaching Council is the same as Ghana Education Service, Ghana Education Service. Ghana Teaching Council, so Ghana Teaching Service, the same as Ghana Education Service. Established in 1974 with the National Redemption Council 247 and 252 and the rest. And in the Fourth Republican Republic, it was appealed by the Act 506, 1995. Now let's look at the FQ. The FQ, there the Free Compulsory Universal Basic Education was introduced in which year? And you need to know them before you go and write promotion exams. And most especially, you can also look at the three main objectives of the FQ. It was introduced in 1995. That is Rollins time that it was introduced. So you have to have a knowledge on this. Let me open the message. If you have any question, you can put it across. Now, which of the following is not the use of capitation grant? We have been using capitation grant. Capitation grant is used for so many purposes, but which one of them is not one of the uses of capitation grant? So capitation grant can be used to organize PLC sections or in-service training for staff. It can be used to support the needy people who need support in, in the school and who parents are having challenges in supporting their wards. You can use capitation grant to support it. You can also use capitation grant to drive enrollment. That is one of the reasons that it was introduced in the year 2005, capitation grant. So have it in mind. So it is not used for major projects like building of classroom or building a urinary or building a toilet facility. No, it is not used for that. It's used for enrollment drive. You can use it for maintenance, repairs and maintenance. That one you can use it for purchase stationery materials for the school administration, but we cannot use it to build a major project. So have it in mind. Now let's look at another question that you may also meet in the promotion exams. This question keep on overlapping in all ranks, and it's very important you look at it, delve into it, share something before you go and write. All the following are functions of Ghana Education Service, except which of them is not a function of Ghana Education Service. Ghana Education Service has a function of enforcing teacher discipline in the various educational institutions, especially the pre-tertiary institutions. And it also recruits and promotes staff in Ghana Education Service. Promotion for the lower ranks is done by GES, the districts and the regional levels, but from PS up to DD is done in collaboration with GS Council and Ghana Education Service to promote staff. Then implementation of policies is also done by Ghana Education Service. So what it doesn't do, or what Ghana Education does not do, is allocation of resources that is in the hands of the Ministry of Education. That is the work of the Ministry of Education. So you need to have in mind of that. Then factors affecting a regular visit by the CISOs and their various circuits are numerous. And you also need to know them, especially those who are going to write principal AD2, AD1. You need to look at this, some of the things or some of the challenges, or the GD, some of the challenges that the circuit supervisors face is mobility, how to move from the office or how to move from the various offices to the circuit is a problem. So mobility is one of the problems. Then lack of allowance. I don't know whether circuit supervisors they have allowance, and if they have, it is not enough to help them commit from the various offices to their um, their respective schools to monitor teaching and learning or to help improve teaching and learning. Then most of the time, heads always report them, and it is also a challenge. So you need to know this before you go and write your promotion exams. Now let's look at another one, which is not a management tool. We have dealt with management tools our last tutorials or our last engagement. We have looked at management tools. Say they are devices or tools that helps administrators to effectively manage their schools to help improve teaching and learning. It says which of them is not part. So we can talk about attendance register is attendance register of people is management tool. Then teaching or teacher's time book is an example of management tool. We also have suggestion box. We have movement movement book, we have the logbook, we have charts. These are management tools that are used by administrators or school heads. So lesson plan is not an example of management tool. So have it in mind when you want to pass your promotion exam. So anytime you meet them, you have what to think of and what answer to provide. Then, which is not a financial tool. Financial tool. We have dealt with various types of books or types of books in our last engagement, our last promotion tutorials. And this is not a financial tool. We have talked about examples of financial tools. Then you can give many examples in the comment section. Now we have the cash book, cash analysis book, and we have cash receipt book, we have bank statement, we have the ledger book. These are financial tools or financial books that help administrators in various schools to do. So logbook is not a financial tool. Logbook is an administrative book or tool that help administrators to function well in their various educational institutions that you need to know. So it's very, very important. Now let's look at another question that you may meet and have a challenge on it. At the basic school level, there are two main agencies that support the school. What are these agencies? In the comment section, you can indicate one of them in the comment section. But not to waste time, so in the district or the school level, we have the PTA and SMC, or we have the Board of Governors or Board of Governors at the senior high school level. These are the two main agencies that support the school administration for its functions. So have it in mind before you go and write promotion exams. Now, which does not account for the formulation of policies by the government in the Ministry of Education. So in formulation of policies in the Ministry of Education, first of all, there should be identification of a challenge or a problem. There should be an identification of a challenge or a problem before policy is being formulated. So the first thing that the government needs to do for policy formulation is to identify a problem in the system and try to address that system. And if the problem is identified, then there should be availability of resources to help solve the problem in the policy formulation. Then you canvas for political support in policy formulation. It's very important. Or NGOs, civil society organizations, you gather support from them and gather ideas from them to help you formulate the policies. Then when the policy is formulated, monitoring is very important. The policy is being monitored, whether it is very effective and its implementation will help. Then after the implementation of the policy and the monitoring, then the policy is being evaluated in a process of its implementation. So evaluation is done at the end to see the effectiveness of the policy that is being implemented. So it's very important. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, do well to subscribe, and let's move forward. So the one that is not part of reinstatement policy. Reinstatement policy is not part of policy formulation by the government or the ministry in charge, that the Ministry of Education. No, that one is not part. Then all are roles of Ministry of Education. Which of these are the core functions of the Ministry of Education? What does it do? And what are the functions of the Ministry of Education or responsibilities of Ministry of Education? So one of the things that the Ministry of Education does is formulation of policies and programs. Policies and programs are in the hands of the Ministry of Education. Then allocation of resources is also another function of the Ministry of Education. They try to allocate funds to the implementing agencies like GS, NACA, NTC, the rest, and other agencies to help these agencies function. So policy formulation, allocation of resources. They also have monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring and evaluation of the policies that have been implemented. So it's very important. So what it does not do is registration of teachers. The registration of teachers is in the hands of the NTC. NTC register teachers and keep the database of teachers in the country. So the work of the registration work is done by NTC. So have it in mind before you go and write the promotion efforts. Then we can also look at this question that happened in most of the ranks. I always try and compare and look at questions that overlaps in various ranks and trying to bring it to you. That's what I always do. So someone was making a suggestion today that I should have been given areas that they will prepare on it. You are right. But what we need to do is we need to cover all the ranks. We need to serve all the ranks to help right from PS up to DD. Each of everyone will get his share. So it always covers a broader area. That is why I cannot give a specific areas that we are going to deal with. Then, which leave is not being enjoyed by basic school teachers? So when you look at the condition of service, leave is part of the condition of service. So if you are asked to mention some of the condition of service that teachers enjoy, leave is also part, your pay is part, and your allowances. These are condition of service that you need to know. So which of them that basic school teachers don't enjoy? That is annual leave. Annual leave is enjoyed by those in the offices. That is security supervisors and the offices, the officials in the office. They are the ones that enjoy annual leave. But at the basic school level, leaves such as maternity leave, you also have sick leave, study leaves. These are leaves that teachers enjoy that you need to know. Then in our process of last engagement, we look at management tools and we have dealt with them several times. You need to know these management tools, timetable, charts, movement book, suggestion box, and the rest, logbook, movement book. These are management tools that are used by heads. So exercise book is not part of what they call it. It's not part of management tool. So have it in mind. When you meet it, you're able to strike the correct answer. Then now let's jump into government activities. One of the questions that you may face, especially those who are going to write DD and AD1, you may meet these questions and you shouldn't be fumbling with these questions. The government raises income through the following, except which of these processes does government raise funds or raise income from or generate money from. Government generate money from dividends of investment. The government do invest. Then borrowing. Borrowing is another process that government can also get income from our developmental partners or bank, the World Bank and the developmental partners. We can also raise um, funds or income from fines, court fines, and the rest. So when you go to the various courts, when you're charged with um, an allegation, then you are, if the allegation are found right and you're being charged, you'll be asked to pay a fine. So funds, when the court fines you, you pay. And these are areas government raise money from to help the country. Then building roads is not a way of generating money. It's indirect way of generating money, but it doesn't generate money directly. So it's indirect. So have it in mind. Then how does government spend our government spend its income through the following, except which of these areas that government invests its income into. So one of the areas that the government can invest into is economic infrastructure ventures that will help the government to gain money are the areas that the government invests money in. Then social infrastructure like hospital building of schools and roads. These are areas that government invests in. Then constructing water for the people. These are areas that government um, get spend its money on for its citizens to enjoy. Then fulfilling international obligations like loans that are being taken by or granted by other financial institutions outside the country. Government also use its economic income to pay off this. Then what the government does not invest its money in is domestic and foreign borrowing. No, the government does not invest money in those areas that you need to have a look at them. Then, what is another name given to educational programs? I've dealt with this question several times. It keeps on resurfacing in all the ranks and it keeps on happening. So another name given to educational programs is known as the content. The content or the content is also known as educational programs. Always take your time and go through this. Then educational processes is also known as the methods of teaching. So have it in mind. When you meet them, you're able to um, you're able to get what you need to answer on. Then let's look at this question. The benefits and privileges that teachers enjoy because they are members of Ghana Education Service is known as what? Is it scheme of service, condition of service, scheme of work, collective agreement? Which of them is the correct answer? So the benefit that a teacher or an official in Ghana Education Service enjoys as a worker called condition of service. So talk of your salary, you talk of your allowances, you talk of your leave, and the rest. These are the condition of service that you enjoy. You can have advanced means to purchase a vehicle. These are examples of um, your condition of service that you enjoy. So the benefit and the privileges that you enjoy because you are a staff of Ghana Education Service is known as condition of service. So the condition of service. Now, in this question happened in the AD2 one of the years. that I was going to find this question, very cheap question, but people struggle to answer it. So the progression or the ranks teachers go through in line of their duty is known as what? Is it scheme of work? Is it collective agreement, condition of service, or scheme of service? The answer is scheme of service. So the progression in the teacher's lifetime in the teaching field or the teaching profession is known as the scheme of service. So when you come out from college, you are put in the principal, senior superintendent 2, then you move within the ranks every 4 years. So the next 4 years, if you move to senior superintendent 1, that you are moving on your ranks, that is your scheme of service. Then you continue to progress up to the director general. These are the ranks that you need to go through as a teacher as while you are in the teaching service or teaching profession till you get to retirement. So the progression and the ranks teachers go through in line of their duties is known as the scheme of service. Scheme of service. Conditions of service are the benefit that you enjoy or the privileges that you enjoy. By the ranks that you go to is called the scheme of service. Scheme of service. So have it in mind when you meet it anytime. Now, the act that established Ghana Education Service in 1995 is called what? This was the act that appealed or that reversed or that changed all the degrees from the 1974 up to the um, the Republican Constitution. And this act is Act 506. Have it in mind, very important. So the act that appeals all the National Redemption Council decree and the Supreme Military Council decrees in the fourth Republican Constitution is the Act 506 that established Ghana Education Service and the GS Council. So have it in mind when you meet it. You're able to answer it and answer it correctly. It's very important. Then, which of the following is not a technique to achieve a good classroom management? In good classroom management, there are things that you need to know as a teacher. So, one of the things that you need to use as a good classroom management is to know the names of the people in the classroom. It's very important. Know their backgrounds, know their socioeconomic background, and how the learners learn. You need to know them. So knowing the name of your children is very important. Then another thing that will help you as a classroom teacher to manage your classroom well is establishing and enforcing rules and procedures for routine classroom activities. Set the rules to them, then you establish the rules and enforce the rules with them. Don't single-handedly create the rules. You let them help you establish the rules, then provide ways of redressing issues that will crop up in the classroom. It is your work as a teacher to help the learners do this. Then show good example to the people. Serve as a role model. You need to serve as a role model in the classroom anytime that you are in their classroom. Serve as a role model, they learn from you and learn the good things from you. But if you don't serve as a role model, then you are destroying the future of Ghana. So these are things that you need to know before you go and write promotion aptitude tests. It's very important. Now, assessment to assess achievement at the end of the instruction is known as what? Assessing the achievement of your learners at the end of the lesson is known as is what type of assessment? Is it formative assessment? Is it summative, diagnostic, or placement assessment? So when you assess the learners at the end of the instruction, that is a terminal point. A terminal point. That one is a summative assessment. But during the instructions and you ask them questions to get feedback, to help you improve your teaching and learning, to help improve your learners is formative assessment. Formative assessment. During the lesson or during the instructions, you assess your learners. You ask them questions. You observe them. You look through their activities. You're assessing them. So during the instructions, when you assess them, that one is formative assessment. But at the end of the lesson, if you assess them, that is summative assessment. So have it in mind. Then at the beginning or before the lesson starts, and you want to know the strengths and the weaknesses of the learners, and you try to verify through questions. That is diagnostic assessment. It's also like evaluation. Then we also have placement assessment. Before you want to place a child in a particular course, particular program, particular class, then you assess the learner before or at the beginning of it before you place the learner in um, the rightful class, the rightful course is known as placement assessment. So have it in mind when you meet it, you're able to have it done. Now let's look at another question. Which of the following is not an administrative rule of a head teacher? Which of these rules that the head teacher not actively involved in? So one of the administrative duties of a head teacher is planning. Planning is very important. Planning is one of um, the administrative role of a head teacher. Then organization is one of them. Organization needs to organize. Then management of the facilities in the school. Coordinating is another administrative function of the head teacher. Budgeting is another function of the administrative duty of the head teacher. Then directing and control. These are administrative functions of a head teacher. Then we also have reporting to your superiors and your subordinates. So whatever goes on, you report to your superiors or those ahead of you, and whatever happened at the top there, you report to um, your staff. Communication is also very much of importance to administrative role. So whatever you get, you communicate to your superiors or your subordinates. So what the head does, what the head teacher does not do is assisting people in the term of learning. No, that is not the work of, that's the work of the teachers. So have it in mind. Anytime you meet these kind of questions, you know how to deal with them, answer them correctly. So it is very, very important. So when you look at some of, if you look at the administrative function of the um, the head teacher, it is being categorized with an abbreviation that is the POSDCORB. So have this one in mind. Let me put it in the comment section if I can't. P, that is capital POS, sorry, POS D C O R B. What does it stand for? What does this one stand for? So let me hear you from the comment section. What does it stand for? Can I post it? Let me see if I can post it. If I can post it, that I'm very too much engaged. So the POS, I'm trying to post this one so that you all have it is not, because I'm using my phone to go on live, it is not helping me to post it. So the POSDCORB, what does it stand for? So it stands for planning, organization, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, and budgeting. So this is an administrative function that is being abbreviated. So the R stand for reporting. The R stand for reporting. And so the P stand for planning. The O stand for organization. The S stand for staffing. The D stand for directing. The CO stand for coordinating. The R stand for reporting, and the last one, the B stand for, that is budgeting. So have it in mind when you go and write your promotion aptitude test. Very important. Then let's look at the Bloom taxonomy of educational objectives. We continue to look at some questions that continue to appear in it. Then you need to have a knowledge in this. So this may be our last but 3 questions, and we end with this tonight tutorials and come back another day. So the ability to remember previous learned material such as dates, definitions, terminologies, and specific facts or events in the level of cognitive domain is known as what? It's known as knowledge. It's known as knowledge. So knowledge is a situation where the person is able to recall facts, recall definitions, recall dates, recall meaning of what is being taught, and recall facts and recall of events. These are the first domain, that is the knowledge that you need to know. So if the learner is able to use the learned material in a different situation, that is the application, using the knowledge in solving a particular problem in a different situation, that is the application of knowledge. Then we also have comprehension. If the person is able to re-explain, restate the learned material, meaning that the person has understood whatever is being taught. Then if the person is able to break down the material into components, or able to disintegrate material into components, that one is analysis. That one is analysis. So have it in mind. Then we also have synthesis. Synthesis, that is the person is able to put all components together to form a whole, that is compose. So if you give them essay and they're able to compose, bring ideas to form a whole story, that is composition. That is synthesis. So have it in mind. Then if the person is able to appraise or able to evaluate, that is evaluation. So have it in mind when you meet them in the promotion aptitude test. Very important. Now, a body of knowledge and set of competencies that form the basis for a quality education is termed as what? The a body of knowledge, a set of competencies that form the basis for quality education is termed as what? Is termed as the standard-based curriculum. So the standard-based curriculum is a body of knowledge and it has a set of competencies, about 6 competencies that we have looked at in the new educational reforms or policy that was introduced in the year 2019, the standard-based curriculum. It has a body of knowledge that learners are supposed to learn, a set of competencies that learners are supposed to go through to have quality formal education. So standard-based curriculum that you need to have in mind. So how many competencies were being designed in this standard-based curriculum? There are 6 competencies. There are 6 competencies that were, so don't get it wrong, 6 competencies. And we can talk about, we can give examples like the digital literacy, we can talk about creativity and innovation, you can talk about cultural identity and global citizenship, personal development, and leadership, creativity and innovation, critical thinking, and problem solving. These were the 6 competencies that were allowed in this standard-based curriculum that we need to. We have come across all these things, but anytime we still go to exams, we struggle to pass them. These are simple questions that we need to be passing, but still, we still struggle. So Dododo is a type of quality assurance process used in the country under which service and operation of the pre-tertiary schools and educational institutions or programs are evaluated by the external body to determine if applicable standards are met. This is a question if you have never met before, you'll surely struggle. So it is DODO is a type of quality assurance process used in the country under which service and promotion, under which service and operations of pre-tertiary schools and educational institutions or programs are evaluated by the external body to determine if applicable standards are met. What type of education is that? That's the pre-tertiary education that was introduced in the 2019. Then is continuation in the JSS, that the common core program. So have it in mind. That brought about the Current Education Act, that is 1049, the Pre-Tertiary Education Act. So always look at for them. Always try and write something down. When you read them, you're able to answer them with ease. With ease is very important. So the National Council for Curriculum Assessment has introduced a new standard-based curriculum for Dododo schools in Ghana. It was introduced in which level of education? The educational structure. The National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, one of the independent bodies that was established by the 2008 Educational Reform Act 778, the year 2008. It established 3 key bodies, and one of them is the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment. The second one is the National Teaching Council. The third one is the National Inspectorate Board, now called the National Schools Inspectorate Authority. So this educational reform gave the limelight or changed the function of the Ghana Education Service. And it brought about these three autonomous bodies to help regulate education in Ghana. That is the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment. We have um, the National Inspectorate Board, now called um, the National Schools Inspectorate Authority. Then we also have the NTC, National Teaching Council. These are the three bodies that were established by this educational reforms in the year 2008. That is Act 778. Have it in mind. So the National Council for Curriculum Assessment has introduced a standard-based curriculum for the basic schools in Ghana. That is what it introduced the this thing for. So the first phase of the curriculum that was introduced in 2019 and was implemented at what stage? It was implemented at the basic level, that is from KG to classes. That was the first time that it was introduced or implemented this standard-based curriculum in 2019. 2019, standard-based curriculum. So its first phase was from KG up to the basic 6 that you need to have a fair. That brought about so many terms or terminologies in education. That's where we see the syllables then now change to a curriculum. So have it in mind. Then we also have the teacher's guide being changed to the teacher's resource pack. Teacher's resource pack. Sections were changed to strands. Then topics were changed to sub strands. Then we also have teachers were changed to facilitators. We also have circuit supervisors changed to CISOs, that is school um, improvement support officer, and the rest, um, and many more that you need to know. So these are the few things that we need to learn before we go and write our promotion aptitude test. We'll come back again either tomorrow or Thursday to continue with these questions again. Always come around and uh, let's let's learn together. It's very important. Don't forget to give your support. You can also contribute your support through the Momo line that is on the screen. That is 0241689 382. The name is Agronokwajo as a mobile line with this number. So somebody wrote that is POSDCORB. That is it. It is There is an abbreviation that you also need, especially those who are going to write the DD. This abbreviation, be very careful with it. The first one is planning, the second one is organization, the third one, that is the S, is staffing, the D is directing, the C, the CO stand for coordinating, the R stand for reporting, and the B stand for budgeting. So have it in mind. Anything that you have any challenge, you can leave it in the comment section, and always check your emails. Most of the times I answer some of the questions through the emails, so you may get a response from me any questions that you ask. We shall meet another time. Someone is asking a question, or it says evaluation assessment. Yeah, well, we have dealt with evaluation and assessment. Another appropriate time, we'll come and look at I'll come and look at assessment, and it's very important. If you have any challenge, you can throw it now, and if nothing at all, we'll bring today's engagement to a close. Bring today's engagement to a close. If nothing is there, we'll come back tomorrow tomorrow next to share something about. One of the funny thing that I always look at is people don't like the theory aspect or learning when we put information concerning the theory aspect. People are not interested. They are interested in the questions, and that is what always causes your downfall. You need to read their content. When you get the questions, you know what to do. So when we send you a message on WhatsApp, you don't read. Are you sure? I'm be reading. I respond to almost all the questions on WhatsApp. I'm not what do you call it? I'm not so selfish. I always answer question on WhatsApp. So if you ask me question on WhatsApp, also James, I don't think you have ever sent me a question on WhatsApp. Probably you have been sending on the wrong line. Because anybody that contacts me on WhatsApp, I try my possible best to help. So if you have any challenge, please kindly send me through this WhatsApp line. If you send it through this WhatsApp line, you get a feedback from me. Those who have been engaging me on this Momo line as one of my WhatsApp lines, I always try as much as possible to answer them. Even if you send me a text message, I still try my possible best to get in touch with you. So also James, if you have any challenge, you can still drop it. I always take my time to answer any questions that anyone has sent to me, or any challenge that anyone has. You will send it through this WhatsApp line, this line on the screen, that is 0241689382. I'll still answer you. Please, I'm not someone who does not answer questions. Others can testify. Those who have been contacting me, I always answer their questions. So also James, you can let your questions, or you can send me your challenges. If you send me your challenges, I'll answer them, right? So thank you so much. So if nothing at all, will end today's tutorial. I'll come back tomorrow or tomorrow next. Have a good night. Shall meet. God bless you, and may God help us to pass our promotion aptitude test. Have a good night. Bye.